Aloha, you're watching This Is Now on Hawaii News Now. House Republicans are searching for a new leader after 8 of them joined Democrats to remove Kevin McCarthy as Speaker yesterday.
Yeah, and whoever is selected will play a major role in negotiations to fund the government before the next shutdown deadline nears. Natalie Brand reports from Washington, D.C.
The business of the House of Representatives is at a standstill, one day after the stunning removal of Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
I don't regret standing up for choosing governance over grievance.
The embattled California congressman has already said he will not run for the speakership again. So now the focus shifts to who will take his place. Todd Belt is a professor of political management at the George Washington University.
Can they get it together? Can they rally behind a speaker who can make the type of deal that they can be happy with and please the entire Republican conference?
Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan said Wednesday he'll run for Speaker.
All I'm saying is we need to unite the conference. I think I can do that.
Majority Leader Steve Scalise also announced he's entering the race.
I am open to a number of folks up here. We'll have that discussion and we'll figure out who will be the next speaker.
Congresswoman Nancy Mace is one of the 8 Republicans who voted against McCarthy. Matt Gaetz of Florida led the unprecedented ouster. But the hardliners also had help from the other side. House Democrats were not pleased when McCarthy blamed them for the near government shutdown after he had appealed to them to help keep the government open.
Democrats saved the day, and he goes on TV hours later and says, Republicans did it. Republicans were leading, which is insane.
House Republicans began meeting Tuesday night to discuss their next moves, but it remains unclear when they will hold a vote to elect the next speaker, with a little over 40 days to the next critical budget deadline. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Now, some lawmakers last night posted that they would nominate Donald Trump for the position. It hasn't happened before, but the Speaker of the House does not have to be a member of Congress.
The public is saying goodbye to the late California Senator Dianne Feinstein. Feinstein is lying in state at San Francisco City Hall. The long-serving Democrat senator and political trailblazer died last Thursday at her home in Washington, D.C. At 90, she was the oldest member of Congress after first being elected to the Senate in 1992. Among those paying their respects today was her colleague and fellow San Franciscan, Representative Nancy Pelosi. A memorial service for Feinstein will be held Thursday afternoon on the steps of City Hall. After the service, Feinstein will be buried at a private family ceremony. 5 people were shot last night on the campus of Morgan State University. It's a historically black college in Baltimore. Ken Delanian was there.
The community here at Morgan State University in Baltimore is reeling after a terrifying shooting last night that wounded 5 people, including 4 students here at the university. Everyone survived, were taken to hospitals and treated for their injuries, and police say the shooter or shooters remains at large. This happened around 9:25 p.m. last night amid homecoming week celebrations, and the campus went into lockdown as SWAT teams and federal agents responded until about midnight, at which point that lockdown was lifted. Police said they didn't think there was a dangerous active shooter situation remaining. They haven't released many details about what they believed happened or whether they have any suspects or what kind of weapon was used. A Baltimore City Councilman did tweet overnight that police told him they believed there were 3 separate shooters. This is the 3rd year in a row that homecoming celebrations here at Morgan State were marred by gunfire. Baltimore's mayor lamenting what he says is an epidemic of gun violence in the United States. Classes canceled here today. Back to you.
New details now on a stabbing at Kamakana-Ali'i Shopping Center in Kapolei. 24-year-old Jared Elizares is in custody for attempted murder. He's suspected of attacking a 23-year-old man in a restroom with a knife last night. The victim suffered serious injuries to his throat and chest, and he was taken to the hospital by EMS. HPD says Elizares was apprehended by bystanders before officers arrived.
No Friday night lights in Kaneohe this week. After weeks of threats and violence, the football game between Castle and Waianae High Schools is canceled. Students and families were notified of the cancellation by letter. State Representative Scott Matayoshi says the problems go back more than a month when a student got into a fight with a group of students at Windward City Shopping Center. Then last week, Thursday, that same student was involved in an incident at Castle in which 15 people reportedly jumped over a fence, causing a lockdown for the Windward campus. The next day, there was a shooting threat at Waianae High.
The fear was that the situation was escalating to a point where security and school administration and HPD would not be able to handle a situation for a nighttime football game. So the decision was made to cancel this game.
One Waianae parent said campuses should be prepared for any type of situation.
I think they should someone have a better analyzation how the whole, situation is and come up with ways to defuse it,
Superintendent Keith Hayashi supports the decision and says they're working with both schools to address safety concerns.
A threat was made to Ke'au Middle School on Hawaii Island. Police were sent to the campus yesterday morning after the social media threat was made. It's not yet known who made the post. Anyone with information is urged to call Hawaii County Police at 808-935-3311.
More Lahaina residents will be allowed to return to their properties on Friday and Saturday. Vehicle passes are needed for the areas along Malo Street, Kalani Road, Kekai Road, Ainakea Road, and Malanai Street. Those can be picked up at the Lahaina Civic Center or the Maui County Building in Wailuku, both today and tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Well, yesterday in This Is Now, we brought you live images from a rally at the Hawaii State Capitol where some Maui residents called on the governor to delay the October 8th tourism restart date for West Maui. Our Daryl Huff recaps the day.
Sorry. Imua Lahaina. Long live the people of Maui.
During an emotional rally, community leaders argued that the people of West Maui are far from ready, emotionally or logistically.
We have no schools, we have no daycare, we have no grocery stores just opening up. The hierarchy of needs has been turned on its head.
The sooner they go and bring things back to how it was, the more we know they don't want to make a change.
The petition doesn't set a specific date for when West Maui should be reopened, but asks for benchmarks, things like kids being back in school and mortgage relief being available before people would be ready to face tourists back at work.
Benchmarks of having our children back in school, having childcare for the preschoolers and the toddlers.
We're not here to spread hate. We just want to implore him just to do the right thing.
Pa'ela Kiakona, who lost his job as a bartender, led the solemn presentation, carrying the petition they said included 14,000 signatures, 3,500 of them from West Maui. The governor was not there, but on Spotlight Now said he had another number in mind.
It's 8,773. That's the number of people, 8,773, that are now unemployed as a result of the fire. And these individuals need to be able to take care of their families, care for their children.
The governor said he expects the reopening to be gradual and set a certain date because he learned from COVID that confused visitors won't travel to Maui at all.
I respect people who protest. I respect the petition, but also it's my job to give us some certainty. And because we didn't have that during COVID, we suffered extra.
We're given a week to let that dust settle for us to go right back to work and try and almost being forced back into it.
They do not have to go back to work yet. We're going to continue their benefits. I'm going to continue to house people.
The petitioners wanted Green to come to Maui for a community meeting Friday, but he said instead he plans to work on benefit plans for the unemployed and displaced. Daryl Huff, Hawaii News Now, State Capitol.
H&N Investigates has learned about a complaint of unfair business practices against one of the largest hotel condominiums that's housing Maui fire evacuees, and State Office of Consumer Protection is investigating. The Honua Kai Condominium Association is a hotel condominium in Ka'anapali with 700 units. More than half are filled with fire evacuees. In late September, Honua Kai sent this letter saying over 1,400 people have been sheltered there, but some owners say that letter is forcing them to evict fire evacuees by the end of October. It says owners should be in compliance with provisions, including, quote, managing the termination of Red Cross leases within the 60-day limit.
Certainly not going to kick them out. I think it's just natural for these owners to just look at their pocketbooks and think, oh my God, people are not going to come here unless they see a banner out in front that says 100% refugee free.
But the board's president told HNN Honua Kai is not evicting or suing anyone. They said, quote, the board approved a process through which owners who wish to house displaced persons longer than the 60 days allowed in our governing documents can request permission to extend leases until December 1st. We are confident that when the state investigators learn the true facts, they will have no issues with Honua Kai, end quote.
We're continuing our special series of stories smuggled fentanyl in Hawaii. Cracking down on the drug requires law enforcement at all levels. HNN's chief investigative reporter Lynn Kawano has the next part of this series focusing on the effort to stop the smugglers before the drugs can be shipped to Hawaii.
Drugs that make it through the border into the U.S. hit the streets quickly, especially in Los Angeles.
This is a transshipment center. So here in L.A., we bear a brunt of the drug issues.
The Drug Enforcement Administration and HIDTA, the high-intensity drug trafficking areas, combine forces to try to find the major suppliers before the items can be shipped out of L.A.
All right, guys, thanks for coming out today.
This is Group 48, a task force of agents.
We got a target that's supposed to come out, originally bring 1,000 pills for $2,500, followed by another 2,000 pills. After it brings out the 2,000 pills, we're going to attempt to take down.
The bus often starts small, with buys off social media ads that target kids.
Kid walking away right now, it didn't really go good. Sound like he got a little bit.
This undercover buy, with a goal of 2,000 fake prescription pills, didn't go as planned, so the agents move in to see what the target has on him. He is wearing a glove, which leads them to believe he's handling fentanyl.
0584.
As the agents search him for weapons, 2 small bags fall from his pocket. Not the large seizure the crew was hoping for today, but the 23 suspected fentanyl pills and small bag of cocaine are now off the streets and give them a starting point to try to find the person above him on the drug pyramid.
He's definitely working for somebody way above.
Law enforcement says the takedowns and a lot of patience can pay off eventually. This same task force, Group 48, made a record-breaking bust last year, seizing nearly 1 million fake prescription pills containing fentanyl just outside LA. The DEA says these buy-bust operations also happen in Hawaii and can provide valuable information about drug trends.
We will go out and try to do street-level buys in order to identify the networks that are operating on the islands. Once we identify those, then we can expand the organization to target them. We want to go after their infrastructure at all levels. We mainly want to see who is responsible for shipping that drugs. How's it getting to Hawaii?
The various ways it gets here and why law enforcement is limited on what they can do to stop it. That's in our next report, Smuggled Fentanyl in Hawaii. I'm Lynn Kawano, Hawaii News Now.
And you can watch the next story in Lynn's series, Smuggled Fentanyl in Hawaii. Part 3 airs tonight at 6 p.m. on KGMB and K5.
All right, let's take you live outside now. This is a live look at Evergreen, Colorado. Just beautiful out there.
Stunning.
63 degrees is the temperature there in Colorado. Now we're going to have your forecast here at home with Guy Hoggy after this quick break.
on this Wednesday. We're in for more beautiful light wind weather. There is this weak front, and it might bring us a few showers maybe later this afternoon for Kauai and Oahu. Way out in the East Pacific, we're talking more than 2,700 miles away, is Tropical Storm Lydia, expected to get slightly stronger over the next couple of days, but it's not going to advance towards the state, so it will not impact our weather in any way, shape, or form. Now, this morning, extremely dry conditions with very clear skies, but as the day progresses, because of the light winds, we'll get clouds building up in the afternoon, and some of that cloud buildup might spawn a few spotty showers, but they won't be widespread. They might even be briefly heavy, but still, we'll take whatever rain we can get considering the drought conditions. And as far as the surf, heads up, we got a solid swell picking up today for north and west shores, and with those light winds, conditions will be pretty good. South shores, not bad, 3 to 5 feet. So we've got these light winds all the way through tomorrow, and that means more pop-up showers are likely late in the afternoon, but they won't be widespread. And then we'll see those trade winds return for a brief time through Sunday, so the weekend is shaping up quite nice. And if we're lucky, we'll get a few wind-winded Mauka showers when those trade winds pick up.
It's being called the Super Bowl of the Catholic Church. Bishops from around the world are gathering in Rome to discuss major controversies like female priests and the church's response to its gay members. Ian Lee has more.
The future of the Catholic Church is being charted in Rome. Pope Francis opened the summit saying,
"No, non siamo qui per fare Parlamento.
We are not here to make a political rally. But politics are already at play.
What the conservatives fear is that the doctrine of the church, because of this widespread consultation, may be diluted.
For the first time in history, women and lay people will be allowed to vote, helping to decide big questions like, can women become deacons?
We're here in support of those conversations, and we hope that they continue to be courageous, bold, and inclusive.
Other hot-button issues, whether divorced and remarried Catholics can receive communion, and if priests should be allowed to marry. American Cardinal Raymond Burke and 4 others launched a barrage of challenges before the meeting began, including clarification on same-sex couples. In a bombshell response, the Pope opened the door for priests to bless same-sex unions, but fell short of putting them on the same level as heterosexual weddings.
In nomine Patris et Filii.
Pope Francis told followers Wednesday the Catholic Church is in need of repair to make it a welcoming place for everyone. Any changes for the church are likely a long way off. There's another summit next October with a papal document expected out in 2025. Ian Lee, CBS News.
Well, the voyaging canoe Hokule'a has arrived at their latest stop on the Moananui Kea voyage. The crew is now resting in Half Moon Bay, California, after a 6.5-hour sail from San Francisco. As the voyaging canoe pulled into Pillar Point Harbor, locals from the Ramaytush village greeted the Hokule'a with a dance, while Hawaiian musician John Cruz performed a song. Weather permitting, the Hokule'a will depart Half Moon Bay on Thursday for Monterey Harbor.
An Oahu natural resources educator has a new title. Jackie Freitas of Lelehua High School was honored yesterday at Washington Place. She's also the Future Farmers of America advisor and has taught at her alma mater for 13 years.
I just love what I do, and my passion comes out, but I do everything for the students. Everything I do is for my students.
Freitas was chosen out of more than 13,000 public school educators and 15 finalists. She'll represent Hawaii in the National Teacher of the Year competition in Washington, D.C.
As we continue our coverage of Pride Month here in Honolulu, we're also looking at stories of pride emerging in other states. Now, in light of sweeping anti-transgender legislation across the mainland, one politician is soaring past boundaries in Tennessee. Jason Lamb of News Channel 5 reports.
In a hotel that helped secure women the right to vote, more than 100 years later, history was about to be made again. In a statement from a former engineer that would soon be heard loud and clear.
Good evening. There it is.
You don't know how attorneys are. It took an engineer to fix it.
The first transgender person to be elected to public office in Tennessee spoke her first words.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
In the past 3 years, Hill said she's lost connection with many friends and family since her transition. But not everyone.
But my cousin Missy, who is almost like my sister, we grew up in the same house till we were aged 10 years old, flew here from Texas to be with us here tonight.
So much can be said in a tear. A self-described nerd who says she enjoys digging into the details, Hill says she's ready to improve Nashville infrastructure.
From potholes to water lines and from electric grid to transit, from broadband to sidewalks and bike lanes, I'm ready to get working.
Because Hill says history is one thing, results are another.
My name is Olivia Hill, and let's get to work.
Jason Lamb, News Channel 5.
Well, fall just started, but many retailers are already offering Black Friday type deals. Michael George has more.
Anthony Kozak didn't come to Target to shop for holiday gifts.
It's not even Thanksgiving. Halloween? What are we talking about? October.
He was surprised to learn holiday deals are already here. Target's Circle Week is offering big discounts for Circle members through Saturday.
Now that you know they're offering deals, would you do some of your holiday shopping early?
Of course. Who's not looking for a good deal? Got to save money wherever we can.
Target isn't the only retailer offering big savings. Next week is Walmart's Deals Holiday Kickoff, with sales on thousands of items. And Amazon, which held a Prime Day in the summer, is also offering big deal days October 10th and 11th. And these deals are expected to attract plenty of customers. A recent survey from Bankrate found 50% of people plan to buy holiday gifts before Halloween.
We've seen that, that holiday shopping has been kicking off earlier and earlier every year.
Samantha Gordon is the deals editor at Consumer Reports and says people buying now should check the return policy and always look to see if what you purchase drops in price.
So a lot of retailers have this policy where if you buy something and it goes on sale a few days later, you can reach out to customer service and get refunded the partial difference.
Gordon says if you can't take advantage of these October deals, don't worry.
And what will happen after that sale is over is a lot of the prices will return to normal for a few weeks and then they'll drop back down again.
The next big price drop will be in November around Black Friday, a more traditional time for holiday shopping. Michael George, CBS News, Clifton, New Jersey.
Well, I'm excited for the holiday shopping, but I like to shop for myself.
That's okay.
Shopping for other people is so difficult to do. You never know, is it going to fit? Are they going to like it? Are they going to use it? That's the big thing for me. Are they actually going to use it? Let's go ahead and give you some good news now. Check this out right here. You are looking at 104-year-old Dorothy Hoffner. She completed a jump at Skydive Chicago on Sunday in Ottawa, Illinois. Now, this jump, whoa, look at that. This jump is in the running to be a world record if confirmed by Guinness Book of World Records. She could be the oldest person to have successfully completed a tandem skydive. Now, at 104 years old, the previous world record was 103, which was set in Sweden in 2022. Now, she also didn't start skydiving until she was 100.
Go, Dorothy.
So she is living her best life, proving that age is just a number.
She looks great for 104.
Yeah,
by the way.
Look at the way she's just...
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, hopefully Dorothy does set a world record. Congratulations to her for pulling it off. Have a great day.